this.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Internet. We're back. I've been away for a few weeks.
Look who's back. Back again.
The Sammys are back.
Sammy's back.
Back again.
Both of them. Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them. Both of them. Both of them. It's GU football. Nah.
Obama's in your face. Obama's in your face.
Who doesn't love a good rim job?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's why I have an infected knuckle.
Wow.
Well,
Yikes.
yes. So we're finally back. There is something when you do the call to action. I'm gonna bring up the list that we have made.
The lists that we have made.
Ooh, that's right. You never check our email. We've made a couple of lists, like good lists.
About what?
Podcast.
To listen to?
Yeah, shit like that. I'll tell you all about it.
Oh, great.
I'll save it as a surprise. It'll be a surprise for everyone.
Maybe I should check the email.
I didn't read the email either.
Mel, I also did talk about this before in a sound check, so he's heard of it. But it's okay. You got a little bit on your brain right now. You can't lose count, clearly, because you got to make sure you take care of old 21.
To quote Smokey. Mm-hmm. Woo! Podcast!
That's right.
Podcast!
I've got some fucking fire for that motherfucker tonight. And every West Ham fan that listens to us.
Where's my vape? There you go.
Boring game.
It was very boring. Very, very boring.
Nicholas Fulcru could fuck back off to Germany. Jesus Christ, that was a pitiful mess.
That is the kid from Malcolm in the Middle. The youngest was Dewey, right?
Uh-huh.
I was like 11 when that show was on television.
There was one episode where he's watching TV and the voice is going through his head opposed to like the guy on the news is talking and his voice in his head is going boring, 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 boring.
Nice.
Fucking great.
I don't even remember where I put Gmail in these folders. Here it is.
So why don't I go get us some ice? Do we want to go ahead and
do this? We go live and you're like, and I'm gonna fuck off right now.
Because I'd like to keep you two on your toes and make you have to engage with the audience.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Now tell me all how much
Thanks,
better you all
Sam.
are than me.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Sam.
Fuck off. Fuck entirely off.
I love ending sound check that way.
No, don't say shit that weird then.
Oh my God, ridiculous. All right, we are, those of you joining us, we just finished our pre-show show sound check. And if you wanted to get that, Graham, how would one do that?
Patreon.com/D Football Show. You just sign up to that $5 tier. You get all the extra shit.
Where we talk about
And it's
things like
pretty
snipping balls and infected knuckles.
Yep.
Those things are not related, but they sound like they could be.
Yes, they do sound related, potentially. They're not.
Ferguson to, yep, Dewey. It's just apparently Smokey just talking to us. Who else is here tonight?
This is pretty good.
We got somebody watching on Kick,
And
on Twitchy, and
Like
on
this.
Facebook, and on YouTube. You know, we will get started shortly. Houston just went to grab some beverages. We just went ahead and started the stream, give people a chance to join in.
say hello, right?
First segment is going to be, let's see.
A good one.
Southampton and Palace, right?
It's going to be yeah. Fuck that game, too. That game cost me fucking $190
Just
goddamn dollars.
kidding. Opening with Liverpool and Everton and Arsenal and Fulham.
That game cost me $190 real dollars. Well, I only lost $5, but the bet itself paid out $190. I needed Southampton to win.
Thank you. Yes, West Ham match was crap. Chance for fringe players to show something and did nothing.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that.
With like a...
Could have just played your real team. Would have been cool.
Be better if you did. Be be cooler if he did.
Get comfortable, will you?
You all right, Houston?
And now that he's kicked his sandals halfway across the room.
Quote
Did he
Eddie
really?
Murphy's father. This is my house.
Oh my God! Did you take off your
You don't
house
like
shoes?
this? You don't like it? You get the fuck out of here.
Well, on the break, I'm going to go dance on that couch because a fucking couch.
Fuck your couch. Should never gave you money, black magic motherfuckers. Although that's two different shows. That's
Yeah.
Charlie Murphy and Rick James and Dave Chappelle and
All
the
in
other thing
one.
is- The other one was Eddie Murphy, comedian, which is where Ding Lights Are On comes from too. That's also where, baby, why you put your dick in the sink? Is that what y'all do now? Run around, smell the cocaine, wear a short skirt, put your dick in the sink? Baby, that's nasty.
Can I say one funny? Never mind. Forget. I'll save it for injury time.
Save it for injury time.
I'll save it for injury time.
Okay.
I don't believe it to be offensive. It's funny, but it does talk about something that potentially somebody could get butthurt about.
Heard. Got it. We'll save it for injury time.
Well, it
then.
is after 10 p.m.
All right, so you want me to say it? I saw there was a redneck comedian. He's clearly just taking the piss out of the health thing
Right.
going on, and he goes, the whole bit was like 4 sentences. He goes, anybody think that almond milk is making everybody trans? He was a little bit older redneck guy, and he goes,
Right.
back in my day, we had whole milk and 2% milk. Everybody had strong bones, and we had regular gays.
Regular gays. That is strangely wholesome.
It's very fun. I thought it tickled me
Wow.
something serious. I thought that was good. I sent it to Carly. I was like, fucking look at this.
That's
I thought it was pretty funny.
that's a good joke. That's a
Punch.
good joke.
Punch up.
Yeah.
He's making fun of himself
Yeah.
for thinking that way. He's not making fun of the
We had regular gays.
It's something that the term they've been called is the broligarchy, like all the male comedians that have podcasts, like the Theo Vons of the world and stuff like that, that all
Yeah.
kind of got Trump over with that group. They're called everybody's nicknamed them the broligarchy.
Okay.
And all of them, their problem is like, Tony Hinchcliffe, punch down. You don't punch down when you tell jokes. You punch up.
You punch up. Yeah.
You don't punch down. Like you, and if you're gonna punch down, you make fun of yourself. The point is
And-
you're making fun of you.
Don't
Right.
whine.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
All right, we ready to do a show?
I mean, I am.
This is Ray, Manchester United supporter and P1 supporter. Fuck the rest of the league. Red Devils are going to win this shit. Peace out, baby. Oh, and you're listening to DU Football Show.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah. If anybody could do a wellness check on Ray, I heard he was lost in the forest.
I tell you what, we're gonna save it to the very end. But are we gonna talk about fucking United?
Oh, yeah.
We are definitely gonna talk about Manchester United.
Big time.
Get their comeuppance. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Smells of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me, 17 more shots to take, my co-host, Mr. Samuel Graham. How you doing over there, buddy?
Doing pretty good. Those 17 more shots to take are exponentially harder because I look like Steve Carell from 40-Year-Old Virgin due to my stress test.
Oh, yeah, look
I
at
got
that.
the old bald patches, baby.
Did
The
we
old
get
smiley face.
Did we get a Kelly Clarkson?
Almost. That incline got pretty steep there for a second.
can imagine. I've got the echocardiogram coming up for me. So
I've got one, and well, they did that while I was doing the stress test, of course. I have my ultrasound. Apparently, the woman that was supposed to perform the ultrasound, the tech, had a family emergency. She found out about the day prior because they called me to reschedule it.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to go back next Thursday just for that, for 15 fucking minutes for them to do the ultrasound to me.
and an extra $50 out your pocket.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, they're gonna waive that fee. You know.
No.
Why would they do that? That would be simple, right?
Yeah.
And of course, on the ones and twos, producer Mel, how you doing over there?
I'm doing much better this week. How are you, Sammy?
Hanging in there. Is the tetanus all out of you? No, the hand
it's
still
like
hurting.
only about 50% gone, but I pre-gamed it tonight because one Mr. Ryan Kozel, star of Margaritaville, is method acting a bit too much and is fucking off to the Keys.
Yeah, he is.
He's got a job as a seal and dolphin trainer, and he'll be playing music in the Florida Keys. Leaves in a couple weeks.
What?
He already works. He worked at
already
the
a marine
Baltimore
biologist.
Aquarium. He's a
He works at the
marine
Baltimore
biologist. So.
Aquarium.
Oh, I didn't know that part. I thought he was like a hungry actor.
Yeah.
No, that's a hobby. Okay.
No, that was just a hobby.
That's more of a hobby.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
He's was a tour guide and marine biologist with the aquarium and a dolphin trainer.
Yeah.
All right.
Because of course.
E. I just said congratulations, Sam.
We're recorded at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your podcast. And of course, streaming live every single Monday night. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
It's very easy, actually. It's at DU Football Show on all the social medias and dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email.
Very good.
I've been told I say that too fast. It's DU Football Show. FOOTBALL.
Who's ever told you that?
My wife.
Your wife? Okay. Your wife sound checks you better than you.
No, she doesn't at all. I have wanted her to listen to something. It's the only reason. She was like, you say that fast.
Very good. Well, she does come from a lineage of broadcasting royalty. So, she might know a thing or two.
Yeah, that's why she doesn't listen to us.
Precisely. Well, speaking of that, Mr. Graham, you know what? There are people who find us to apparently be broadcasting royalty.
Yes.
Feedspot.com has recently put us on 2 lists. The first list they put us on was Top 100 English Podcasts. We're not English, mate.
It's all right.
But we are number 62 on that.
Nice.
Yeah. How about that? Of all of England.
We're the 62nd podcast.
But more importantly, and what really, 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 really fucking matters. So if you guys get a chance, go to FeedSpot, show some love, say, hey, DU's awesome, all the good stuff, do the reviews, all the fun stuff. But top 35 football podcast, English Premier League football podcast. Top 10, baby. Number fucking 9.
Yeah,
Number fucking 9.
Come on. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. So,
do we pay for it?
No.
Awesome.
No,
Fuck yeah.
Their panel reached out. They had someone individually reach out, said their panel had gone through a bunch of podcasts, listening to stuff, and they ranked us number 9. They liked what we did. So
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love the good people at FeedSpot.
Yeah, the fucking best.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But
I didn't eat dinner tonight. I might go to the FeedSpot when I'm done. Actually. Stupid pun. It's cheap, isn't it? That's a cheap joke. Sorry, guys. FeedSpot's a great company.
Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So is the red-blooded Americans that we are. We vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham, we are finally to the top 5. Let us know what number 5 is this week, good
so
sir.
this is the Heaven Hill Grain to Glass Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This was distilled in 2017, released in 2024, obviously. It's 35% rye, 52% corn, and 13% malted barley. It comes in at 53.5%, which would be, if you're counting at home, 107 proof. Your blurb in Whiskey Advocate comes from David Fleming. And what he says about it, is this. Oh, excuse me. It should run you $100 on the shelf. Obviously, it's going to be a bit more of that if you can find it.
We'll get to the finding it part. I got it at right around 100. I think I got it for 105.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Same spot that I got the Bookers at.
Oh, sweet. They rated it a 94 as well, the tasting panel at Whiskey Advocate. And David Fleming says this to everyone. Grain-to-glass whiskeys typically come from smaller farm distillers, so when the term is used by a larger distiller, people are often wary. But Heaven Hill has crafted an excellent version, working with Indiana-based seed company Beck's Hybrids and Peterson Farms in Kentucky to grow the grain. Some of it in fields across from Heaven Hill's warehouses, actually. The mash bill has a high rye content of 35%, roughly 3 times more than Heaven Hill's other bourbons.
It's very high.
You can taste its spicy influence amid flavors of vanilla, almond, chocolate, cinnamon, and coffee, accented by licorice, orange, and jalapeno pepper spice.
I definitely get big coffee. That is bloody fucking lovely. Really, really good.
I liked it neat. It was very good. It was very good neat. I'm anxious to see what this water did to it.
It had some pepper to it, neat, but it really, it wasn't hot, right? It drank like it was 100 proof. It was nice and easy on the palate.
Definitely a lot of coffee and licorice.
Yeah,
I get licorice heavy.
I get a
actually
ton of
quite good.
coffee in this.
It's actually quite good. I like that a lot.
So this got released once, and it was like in the spring. Mm-hmm. And then Southern in this market, who handles Heaven Hill, had some bottles still. Or better yet, Heaven Hill went, hey, we still got some and we can send you some. And they said, sure. And a bunch came out right in November.
Oh, nice.
It came out and it sold out quickly. Problem is, list comes out in December.
Right. Yeah.
So honestly, I just got lucky. It was Jay's on 40.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they had that, and they had the
Jason's?
Jason's, not Jay's.
Oh,
Jason's, yeah.
nice.
Yeah. And they had that, and they had the Bookers.
R.I.P. Ed.
Yeah, Ed, great dude. Loved
I used to
Ed.
call him. Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm really impressed.
The corn seed varietal is Beck's 6158.
Mm-hmm.
Should probably mention that. That's awesome. Good for them. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's fun to see, the people that could actually put out a grain to glass or a single estate or a single farm type of whiskey with consistency are the big guys, right? Because the littler guys do that, but batch to batch, it changes drastically.
Yeah.
Like, because they're still finding their way. They're maybe working with smaller barrels. They're maybe aging 2 years or 3 years. Or
stuff.
Right?
Yeah,
There's so much that's going on.
They don't have the time they can put into it. I mean, this was a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
6 or 7-year-old, because
Right.
I don't know when they pulled it off the bottling line, and it is not age stated. It just says distilled in 2017, released in 2024. So they could have taken it out of barrel in 2023 and then sat on it for a couple of months.
Yeah, that's of course the
So, but you're looking at a 6 or 7-year-old kind of rough estimate on the age. It's delicious. Those smaller houses just don't have the ability to sit on juice that long.
Right. And then they did a rye, which this is a blue label. The rye was a green label. And then there was a wheat, and I forget what the wheat label color was, but there was also a wheat prominent one as well. Again, Heaven
Not my
Hill.
favorite.
Heaven Hill, as we know, does. It's not a wheater, but a wheat whiskey.
Oh, okay.
But we know Heaven Hill does Bernheim. So
Yeah.
So the ability to
Bernheim's pretty good.
The ability to do a wheat whiskey, not hard. You
Right.
know.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But really, I'm really happy with this
Yeah,
whiskey.
it's delicious.
Yeah.
It's very good.
We've it took them a while to get to bourbons. There were only a few bourbons. I think it was like one American whiskey and then a bunch of single malts in the top half of the table.
Right.
But once we got to number 10 was the Bernheim wheat. But then we had the Turkey, the Still Austin, the Bookers, and this. And then next week is also a bourbon as well. And they have all been really fucking stellar to point. Really stellar.
I'm really impressed with this one. Actually, I think this might be my favorite so far. I have to re-update my so far list.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. It's very good.
Yeah, I very much agree. Yeah, very
But
much agree.
that's what you would expect from somebody with the distillery number of 1.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely.
You should be doing decent shit.
They might know what they're doing.
Yeah.
What else do woos have to do, Mr. Graham?
Always remember to drink responsibly.
Let's get into it. Very good. It is showtime. Boys and girls, y'all know what we're going to talk about to open. We find ourselves with 8 matches left, and a gutsy Derby win rights the ship for the Reds as the Gunners win but suffer a massive blow. Liverpool 1, Everton 0, Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. This was another proper fucking derby. Everton and
it had everything.
Liverpool delivered both matches this year. The score lines might not have showed. They were stellar fucking games. They were fun to watch.
Oh yeah, big time. It was back and forth. It was energetic. Both teams had chances. We talked about it off air, obviously.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. Everton had the better of the chances.
Yeah, that was the first half. It was
but it
definitely
fell to the worst of the forwards.
Yeah, Everton had the better chances in the first half. The second half, Liverpool took over. You know, they really did.
I mean, they turned the screw. They had a majority of the possession the entire time.
Right, but in the first half, I mean, Everton pulled one off the post. They have one called back for offsides. Like, they had chances.
Oh, yeah. Beto, got behind Van Dijk, gave Van Dijk loads of fucking trouble. That's going to really hurt his contract at Real Madrid next season, isn't it?
Obviously, we're going to get to Tark. Like, that's the next thing we're going to talk about, and we're going to spend time on that because it needs to be discussed, right? But Van Dijk got beat multiple times by Beto, not just in this derby, in the last derby. And your best frenemy, Ryan Williams, said it on the Blue Frontier pod for Everton, that Beto is a really good Premier League backup striker.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not a starter. If Beto is beating you...
That bad as well. I mean, there was 2 or 3 instances he got behind, like, easily.
Imagine how bad Holland is going to start beating you, because Holland is fast and big. Like, imagine how bad Saka is going to start beating you. Imagine how bad... I'm getting Nicholas Jackson. Like, there are a lot better strikers than Beto.
It's fine. Nicholas Jackson's offsides.
Yeah.
Already. Yeah. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
But there's, Ollie Watkins will beat him. Mm-hmm. Like, you need to start looking at that. A newly re-energized Rashford. Apparently, all you need to do is leave United to start becoming a good player again, right?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, in all this, that is cause for concern, and it might be a point of discussion when you're talking to him about a possible extension and staying with the club. Maybe you ain't paying him as much because maybe you need to get a fucking third center back that can fill in for him from time to time.
Yep.
I mean, he's in his 30s. The legs are starting to go. It's going to happen.
Before we get to Tark, since we're on subpar performances in a decent game, look at Salah was flat again.
Oh yeah.
This is fourth time out in a row. I didn't watch any of Egypt's internationals during the break. I don't believe he scored though. I think Marmoush did.
Yeah, Marmoush did.
But if you look at the last 4 games in obviously the 2 against PSG, the League Cup final,
yep,
and then this game here, Salah's been very flat in all of them. Van Dijk hasn't been at his best at all. Now, that being said, obviously they were missing Trent, and Connor Bradley had a problem, so there's a little bit of a makeshift backline. That may have affected Salah, not Curtis Jones.
But I would say Curtis Jones had one of the better games on the pitch.
But that perspective and how you play balls, how you see movement, if he's used to being in the middle of the pitch and not essentially the sideline, to him becomes another defender, right? It could affect how those link-up plays happen,
Here we go.
Get on to the assault.
10 minutes into the match. For those of you who do not know, the Merseyside Derby is the most red-carded match in all of English football for a reason. They don't like each other. It's a massive derby, and it's gone on for a very, very long time. And this one probably should have had a red card in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we often quote pundits that we've listened to. I'm going to tell you this one outright. Marcus Speller from the Football Ramble. What I heard him say was he went to social media to try to find some dickhead defending Tarkovsky. He even went on X. Which, I've heard there's some really good stuff on there.
Hey, man, they're just asking the questions. That's all.
Including Duncan fucking Ferguson said, he should have walked. Maybe this is the catalyst to reunite humanity.
James Tarkovsky said in his post-presser, not my best moments.
Couldn't find a single fucking human being defending what he did. So maybe this is the catalyst to bring humanity back together. See, despite all of our differences, we all can agree on one thing. Tark should have walked.
I tell you what, and I'm surprised we haven't heard from JB yet in the closed group because, as we all know, JB McConville's favorite fucking player is James fucking Tarkovsky.
Favorite thug. He hates that guy. The closed group, by the way, he was referencing is Drunkard United FC on Facebook. You should find it. That's where all the hashtag bans happen.
Now, he
did set a record with this yellow card, though.
What was that?
So I remember him being sent off, but I think it was a straight red. Do I remember this correctly? Tarkovsky being sent off for Everton at some point in a straight red?
No, he is not, because he hasn't missed a game for Everton.
Okay. He has received 63 yellow cards without having been sent off then at all.
Yeah.
So that's the most cards anyone's ever received without receiving a red.
When he was still with Burnley.
I didn't know the way they presented the stat. I didn't know if that meant he's never received a second yellow, because I thought I remember him getting a straight red at some point.
Never for Everton.
Huh.
Could have been with Burnley. I know, remember
So he's got almost 2 seasons of playing on a yellow in his career.
when Dyche was still coaching Burnley and Everton survived that year, the year they beat Palace and stayed up. When they went to Burnley, they went up 2-0 and lost to Burnley, right?
Uh-huh.
In that match, the very 5 seconds into the match, Tarkovsky completely bowled over Richarlison out of bounds, and everybody was like, that was a fucking red.
Yeah. I don't know why he always gets away with it.
Here's what I can say. I am not making an excuse. I am simply stating what I think is the case, right? Because I agree, should have seen red. Did he get the ball? Absolutely. Did he follow through with the spikes up directly into a player's leg? Absolutely should have been a sending off, even though he got the ball. It was 10 minutes into the match. If it was 20 minutes into the match, he would have walked. If it was 30 minutes into the match, he would have walked. If it was 40 minutes into the match, he would have walked. Because it was 10 minutes into the match, that ref and that VAR official went, we're not deciding this game on this.
Yeah, which
is it right? No.
Is a failure to do their job.
But that it has to be the only justifiable reason.
So there's... Yeah, I mean, basically, we talk a lot about players playing the occasion and not the game.
Yeah.
Right? Or playing the badge or the shirt and not the team in front of you. A lot of times, like we've said it a lot this season about Manchester United, for instance, the couple of games they've won, those teams had chances.
Yeah.
So you're playing the badge, you're playing the history,
right,
rather than the team that's out there in front of you, because you should have been beating this lot.
Right.
These referees refereed the occasion, not the game in this instance.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't disagree.
They didn't want to be the one to do it.
Yeah. And was it wrong? Sure was. Oh, by the way. Oh, hold on.
If Duncan Ferguson, who's been in prison, doesn't defend you for that, he's choked someone on the pit, literally choked them double-handed around their neck on the field.
Oh, yeah, we know this.
And he's Everton through and through. If he doesn't defend you, you're like, it was definitely a red.
Got to put on the old blue armband there because we're talking
Dunky.
about Big Dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really don't fucking care. Fuck Liverpool. They you know what? Oh my God, for once they didn't get the fucking call to go their way. Boo fucking who? Like, I just don't. Yeah, I don't care. Whatever. You know what? He got away with it.
It's
it
one
happened.
of those that if it goes for you, it's great. If it doesn't, it sucks.
Yeah, and yes, that could have completely changed the game. What could have also completely changed the game is if we never saw the lines drawn for the goal that got called back on Beto. And it was not the easiest of looks.
He was off.
Oh,
He was off.
And
On the freeze frame, his leg is clearly beyond the last defender. Just his left leg.
that's fine. That's fine. And then if he puts one off the post, he doesn't put it off the post, he puts it in, and that's not on him.
That was also ridiculous defending by Van Dijk.
Yeah,
that ball should have been cleared twice before Beto had a chance to touch it.
He
again.
beat him twice. He beat him twice, and that's not. You don't blame the scorer, the striker on that one. You can't be like, oh, he has to put that away. He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Should have went far post.
He fucking put off the post. Like,
should have went far post.
It was not. It was good.
He had more to shoot at.
No, far post. The keeper had his hands going that way. You go over his legs.
I don't think so. I thought he dove that way because I thought his head almost hit Beto's knee.
But
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He missed it. It's fine.
Hit the post.
Doesn't even count as a shot on target.
Right, because it hit the post. It's amazing.
Also, still ridiculous to me.
Absolutely amazing.
Sucks.
Now, I will say, going into the second half, though, Liverpool came out and they were on, and they really completely dominated possession after that and opportunity after that. Although, like, other than the goal, Pickford made one save. Like, it wasn't like they were really impressive, but also considering the last run of form they've had, if you're Liverpool, who gives a shit? Win 1-0, get out of the fucking derby, get 12 points ahead, focus on winning the league, right? Like, it's like style points don't fucking matter when it's a derby, right?
No, of course
get
not.
the fucking 3 points, especially when Everton's playing you fucking tough and they're not rolling over.
So this 3 points effectively finishes the league, like 100%. I told you it's been done for weeks,
right?
Because we kept fucking up. Obviously, it's still is now mathematically impossible. But are we going to secure 12 more points, 13 to win it, more points than Liverpool in the last 8 games of the season?
No.
Even with a 6-pointer in there, I don't fucking think so.
No, you're not going to.
No.
You're just not going to.
It's done, which made our win a bit bittersweet, obviously.
Yeah.
Which we're coming
we'll
on
get to in
to
a second.
But the just get it over the line basically was the name of the game, and they happened to do it. Now, we also spoke a little bit earlier. I'm sure you want to talk about the potential offside for Diaz.
Yeah.
In my watching of the highlights of this game, Diaz doesn't move at all, makes any motion towards the ball. He stands completely fuck still. Tarkovsky puts that block in, right? Mm-hmm. In doing so, his momentum put Diaz back on side.
Right. But
so it's unfortunate, but it's an unfortunate piece of the rules. The fact that he wasn't moving is what changes it. If he's moving at all, he's involved in the play.
But then what do you do as a defender? Do you not go for the ball? Because the ball was clearly going to Diaz. But do you let the ball go to Diaz and maybe he is on sides?
It's a risk. It sucks.
Yeah. Now
it's a weird, because it doesn't happen often. We don't have to debate this often.
Right. I'm not disagreeing with you that it was on sides.
I think they got the call right. On. Yeah.
And here's what
it's just one of those weird, annoying things that we don't see very often, because most players, we saw Thierry Henry do it once years ago, where he put his hands up, ball literally rolled within inches of his feet.
Yeah.
And he just did not move.
It's funny, though. Because the interpretation of that rule is different in different circumstances, and that circumstance being if it's in front of the net. If it's in front of the net, suddenly the goalie couldn't have seen it.
Well, that depends on which ref you're talking to.
Right.
It's Gylfi Sigurdsson laying on the floor.
With
and 6'6", David
but
De Gea or whoever it was. Yeah.
At a ball that's chest height, that, clearly being blocked by it. But that's kind of where I was getting at. The problem in all of that lies is, okay, we're saying that a person can be a distraction if they're in front of the keeper, but they're not a distraction if they're behind a defender. Like, what is a distraction? What isn't a distraction? It's again, poorly written rules, right? And also you can fix this situation if you start to adopt kind of the Wenger philosophy,
I still think there should be daylight. Should be the rule. Did Beto really gain an advantage with his half of his left leg being offside?
Absolutely not.
No, he didn't.
No, he scored that goal because Van Dijk was out of position.
Correct.
That's why he scored that goal.
The rule should be daylight. I completely agree with Arsene Wenger on that, because it also encourages more attacking fucking football.
I have a feeling we're going to get to that. Especially because here's the last thing I want to end on, which isn't really about the game, because at the end of the day, Liverpool got the 3 points they needed. Everton put up a fight. It was a right proper fucking derby. Probably should have been a sending off, but it's everything you want it to fucking be, right? I mean,
there was a little bust up, a little scruffle.
What you want. It's what you want.
Yeah.
It's what you fucking want. It's what you want out of a derby. Starting next week, the 31st week of the season, they're going to be implementing the new offsides technology.
So stupid.
So the first 30 games can fuck off with drawing lines.
Yeah.
And the last 8 are going to get the fucking 3D image. Like, what the actual fuck?
There's precedent for this, though. We've seen this many times. FA Cup, Carabao Cup. You're playing in stadiums that don't have VAR, but if the stadium does have VAR, we're using it. They're playing the same competition under 2 different sets of rules.
FA Cup used this technology the entire FA Cup this time.
So the difference being in this situation, at least the entire league is implementing it at the same time.
Yeah.
So everyone is playing under the same rules. It is fucking weird that they're changing the rules in the middle of the season.
At the tail end of the season.
Changing the tech. It's weird.
Started at the fucking start of the next year.
I did have one more piece.
Please, go right ahead.
I believe his name was Stephen Kelly. Have you heard of or seen this man?
No.
He sits in the cop in full Everton gear.
No shit.
Yeah, because his brother, who was a Liverpool supporter, perished at Hillsborough. And for every derby at Anfield, he sits in his brother's seat, still pays for his brother's seat, sits in his brother's seat, and nobody fucks with him.
That's fucking cool.
So he can see the derby with his brother.
Right. And
he sits there, blue hat, 96 on the front, Everton scarf under his jacket, and he's full blue exposed, sea of red around him.
Right.
That's pretty fucking cool.
That is cool.
I got a lot of like kind of cool little tidbits this week. There's been a lot because the international break. A lot of shit comes out.
Oh yeah.
Like Nottingham Forest cell phone plan. You see that? That happened. That got dropped.
Yep. There we go.
We're coming on to another one here in just a moment.
You know what? Saka's back. A fairly comfortable game, honestly.
Yeah,
there was a lot of opportunities to score a lot of goals that you guys just didn't score.
It was very comfortable to the 88th minute.
Yeah.
When Muniz got his first header that he fucked up, which is a far easier chance than the one he actually scored in stoppage time. But yeah, it was overall the game was pretty comfortable. There wasn't a lot happening. We played some decent football. We did set a record, 50 consecutive passes for Marino's goal. Prior to Wenger has got to have the biggest boner on the face of the earth right now because that is the epitome of walking the ball in the back of the net, right?
Yeah, it is. It really is.
But that is a new record: 50 consecutive passes without the opponents touching the ball before a goal is scored. Technically, well, the 50 passes were completed by the time the deflection happened on the goal. So I guess, and the shot was on target, so it still counts as his goal.
Right.
So I guess you can still count the record. That's all well and good. But none of that really matters. What it boils down to is Saka came back, Saka looked good, Saka scored, and Martinelli's touch could be the assist of the season.
That was fucking gorgeous.
It's fucking deft. It was, I don't even know how he saw him sitting there. It was brilliant.
Martinelli should have had more than one assist. He was bossing the fucking
Martinelli should have had a
sideline.
goal.
And putting over crosses like crazy that no one seemed to want to finish.
Listen, Timothy Castagna should change his name to Timothy Lasagna because Martinelli fucking cooked and ate him.
Yeah, no shit. He really did. He really did.
Brilliant.
It was Martinelli had a great match, but all of that seems in jest when you lose Gabriel.
Yeah, that's...
And likely out for the season.
Oh, he's out for the season. It's confirmed. He needs surgery on the hamstring. That's 2 hamstring injuries that needed surgery.
And
maybe Saka's did too. So I think that might be 3 hamstring injuries. Saka, Havertz, and Gabby.
And
Big
then
Gabby.
Timber gets hurt as well. And
haven't heard an update on him yet.
Like, not what you need when you're getting ready to play fucking Madrid.
No, so, what's his... Ben White came back a couple of weeks ago, played about 25, 30 minutes, cameo in...
fully capable of playing center back. He played center back when he was with Brighton. He played center back with you guys for a while until you had Saliba and Gabriel.
If Calafiori gets fit, which he has the potential by Wednesday, because they said 2 to 3 weeks. So there's the potential there for that. Or if Timber is past fit to play Wednesday, with Ben White opens up the opportunity to play back 3.
I was gonna say, yeah, you go,
which would be huge.
Yeah.
I think it's hard. Obviously, Big Gabby went down. Credit to Raul Jimenez as well. I saw a video from a different angle. Big Gabby's laying on the ground while Arsenal had the ball for a while. Referees, because it wasn't a head injury, didn't blow. Arsenal never put the ball out for their own player. Fulham then, of course, has, not required to put the ball. It's completely fine. They
don't have
just
to
played
play.
on.
Yeah.
But as Fulham, when Fulham got the ball back, he got up and tried to limp and defend. And then Raul Jimenez looked at him and was like, fucking go down, man.
Yeah.
Like, go down.
Go down.
Right. And then he started waving to the ref.
Right.
So
He's down.
good.
He's down.
All credit to him
Yeah.
for that. But, yeah, it's a sickener. It's a sickener. We look, getting Saka back, him getting back on the score sheet, I imagine against you guys this weekend, he's going to get another 25-30, maybe a full half. There may be, like, start Wanyeri or start Saka.
And put
then
on Wanyeri. Yeah.
intentionally either 45 or 60 minutes automatic sub no matter what's happening in the game.
Right. Because you want him for 90 against Real Madrid.
Right. So Real Sociedad last weekend put 4 past Madrid.
Wow.
They can get got at,
Right.
but that front 3 without Big Gabby is a lot to keep track of.
Yeah, it is.
4 if you count Bellingham.
Yeah.
It's a lot to keep track of. And did we have a chance to keep them out or limit them to 1 or 2 goals? Yes. Now that is far less of a chance. And doing it makeshift. Kivior's not up to snuff. I mean, he's just not quick enough. He's not strong enough. It's not going to happen for him going up against Mbappe, Rodrigo, and Vinicius Jr.
No.
But if we can work out Ben White's fitness and Jurriën Timber's not so bad, just a knock, and he can come back, we have a chance to have people that belong in the starting lineup available, even if they haven't played for a while.
Do you ditch a midfielder, go to a back 5, and play wing backs and bring on Zinchenko and Tierney to possibly open up the field?
It's possible. Yeah, we could also do that.
I wonder if we see that at all against Everton, just to trot it out, just to give it a test.
They may want to try something like that, or Teta might want to try something like that. But I just wonder, with them being a touch fragile at the back, Madrid, do you sacrifice too much going forward by doing that?
Yeah, fair. Fair.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. So there's 2 other things from this that I have to bring up. Okay. And one of them is a celebratory thing. I know you have to take neither of you are allergic to tree nuts, right? You both like pistachios?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Great. I found a brand that's a pistachio cream, and it's fucking delicious.
You asked me if I was allergic to nuts.
And the reason that I brought this out is because, and this, I actually hadn't looked at the table, so I hadn't really realized it.
Pistachio is trending right now.
I'll have my Malort after the pistachio to end the segment. So,
we're all going to do this together.
Okay.
Because I after Liverpool's win, obviously, yesterday, I was a bit kind of downtrodden despite our win. And then I looked at the table. Happy St. Totteringham's Day. You fucking cunts.
There we go.
I've never seen a pistachio cream.
That's bloody fucking
It
good.
is delicious. This will forever be a bottle in my home now.
Yeah.
It is a brand called Sogno di Sorrento Crema Pistachio Liqueur.
Yeah.
Product of Italy from Salerno, obviously.
You're gonna need some of that, Mel.
Some pistachio
Yeah, you're gonna need that in the house
to go with my Moretto.
to go with your Moretto.
34 proof. It's fucking, and it's delicious.
Mix it into your coffee, girl, like you do Moretto. By the way,
This is excellent.
Her and Amaretto are now on on friend names. She calls it Moretto.
Oh,
Yeah, Moretto. That's you know,
the
they're close
last
personal friends.
the last thing that's going to take. Do you want to do your shot on Malort?
No, do your thing, then I'll do my shot on my
Okay. Arsenal have launched, much like Forest have launched their cell phone service over the international break, where you can sign up for whatever cell phone provider through Nottingham Forest. They get a commission. I think FFP and PSR have created such a fun way for football clubs to branch into other streams of revenue. I think that's very funny.
Oh. Chelsea did sell their women's team to themselves, essentially, to turn a profit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love loopholes, too. Those are always fun. Arsenal have decided to launch a reality show that's going to be available on Arsenal TV.
Oh my God.
Do you know what that reality show is?
Is it going to be Arsenal TV fucking viewers?
No. Well, kind of.
Because they're kind of the Arsenal TV is some special fucking TV
Well, that's
to
Arsenal
watch.
Fan TV.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
different. That's
Okay.
AFTV. They sued the Robbie, the
Okay.
owner of the YouTube channel.
No shit.
They made him change it to AFTV,
Yeah, okay,
not
got
use the
it.
club's name.
Got it.
Anyway, no, they're launching a dating show.
A dating show.
Yep. 2 supporters. You have to apply, obviously, to be in. They look through and match. Being a blind date where a match is centric to the date. So they'll send you for drinks and food prior, and you end up at the game. And the idea is that everybody might be shy or this or that or whatever, sit in different parts of the stadium, never actually cross paths. You have common ground being fans of the same football club anyway.
Right.
And so we're going to put you on a blind date together.
Heard.
So people looking for love. This was another football ramble trope that I've found. Do you know the Urban Dictionary definition of the word gooner?
No.
Is somebody that has an unhealthy yet obsessive passion for porn. That would seem depressive to others, but they love it.
Okay.
That is the dictionary definition of gooner according to Urban Dictionary.
Heard.
Obviously, it has nothing to do with football. You know, it's a lot like Tottenham did with the term, or yid.
Right.
Where they took a derogatory thing that people were yelling at them and then turned it into their own word.
Right. Of course.
So we'd call us goons because, whatever. So we called ourselves gooners instead of listening to that. Right. But this is what Urban Dictionary says that. So it's going to be interesting. Carly's in to buy the subscription to watch it. So we might be watching it. Just to see if anybody has an unhealthy addiction to porn.
She does love her fucking.
Yeah. So that's happening. That's Arsenal's new revenue stream. And we're buying in.
I haven't had to do one of these in 9 matches, which is nice. Last time I had to do it was losing to producer Mel's Villa. Copites are gobshites. Fucking get in, Tark.
Fuck off. It's like cheering for Luigi Marafoni. What's his name? The guy that shot United Healthcare guy. What's his name?
Mangione. And somehow that was better than the dating show you just told me about. The race for Champions League is warming up. While City and Chelsea are in and around it, a couple of clubs are close to getting back in. Newcastle 2, Brentford 1, Villa 3, Brighton 0. No cup hangover for the Magpies, man. They looked good. They looked good.
It was a celebratory atmosphere, and they went after it. I mean, I haven't seen the Toons start this bright in a game since that demolition of Tottenham a couple years ago. They were, from the first minute, Isak had a chance. I mean, they were on it the whole first half.
This team is eyes on the prize. They see there's a chance to going like, Europe is secured. Fuck it. Go for Champions League. Why not, right?
Yeah.
Europe secured. Fucking go for it. And you could tell that in the way they played the match. They look like a team that was like, fuck it, we're going for it. Who gives a damn?
Yep. It was great. And they did. Alexander Isak should have had a hat trick and an assist before halftime. Mm-hmm. But it took until 45 plus 2 2 minutes into stoppage time of the first half to get the breakthrough. And that was fortunate, where Isaac hit the ball off of Mbuemo's foot.
Mm-hmm.
Goalkeeper was there. That little deflection took it past him.
Yeah.
And there was not a lot of power on that shot.
No.
It also changed the direction of the lineal direction of the ball, but it also changed its trajectory. Instead of bouncing up like comfortable for the goalkeeper,
right.
It changed it to a low kind of pattern. But I didn't think Brentford would have a sniff of getting back into it, to be honest, the way the first half went. The second half came around, and Brentford looked a little better. Thomas Frank's team talk had to have worked because they came out, and it was a bit more energetic. They had a bit more of the ball. They didn't really threaten Nick Pope too terribly much, but they gave a better account of themselves as a team. And then, obviously, you get the penalty.
Yeah, and it's
unfortunate.
Pope's
it's
in no man's land.
It's a weird coming together.
You get the ball, you're okay.
It is a penalty, though,
because you don't get the ball.
Correct.
It's a penalty. And here's the one thing I want to bring up. Mbuemo takes a penalty almost exactly like Ivan Toney does.
Yep.
They
probably came up with it together.
Kind of a hockey stick wrist shot into the corner. And Mbuemo is just as fucking good at it as Tony is.
Very short run up. The Jorginho hop.
He does a little hop where Tony doesn't do a hop. Tony just goes up. Well, Tony just goes up, looks one way, and puts it the fucking other in a goddamn Europa fucking semi.
Stop talking about
ice in his veins.
Let's just stop talking about him because he hopped himself to the bank.
Oh, yeah? Again?
With the Saudi Arabia. Fuck
Saudi.
him.
Oh, I thought he was betting on shit again.
He can't there. He'll get his hands chopped off.
Yeah, very true. Very true. No go so good there for bettors.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's a footballer. Maybe they'll let him get away with
I
it.
don't want them to come after me.
Yeah, no, maybe potentially. Saturday. Here's the thing.
But this isn't real journalism. It's fine.
Number 9 sports show in England.
They won't come after us.
We've got fucking press passes for fucking journalists, Graham. Ixnay.
Whatever, bro.
But the thing for Newcastle, they're only 2 points out. You know, they're 2 points behind Chelsea, 1 point behind City, and who we're going to get on to next, Villa, is 3 and 4 points, respectively. I mean, they are all right the fuck in it. And, And for
we can't move on though without talking about Sandro Tonali.
Please talk about
excuse me, Italian Soboslai.
Yes,
they look a lot alike, in my opinion.
Hey,
Do
Graham.
you get that?
Yes. Hey, Graham. I bet you Tonali didn't think that was going to go in. I bet you he thought he passed it. See what I did there?
I do see what you did there. And I'm not so sure. His foot didn't look like it was even trying to wrap around that ball.
It looked like he
struck
hit it.
straight through that. I don't know.
It looked like his foot went off to the side, and it was
a fucking hit,
it
though.
went right the fuck back in the net,
It
didn't
was phenomenal. What a goal that was. And the assist, of course, came from Bruno Guimaraes. And that is important because one of the other little tidbits I have for the week, over the international break, he was interviewed about his jersey number selection because it's very unorthodox at 39. And he revealed that when he was being offered professional terms at his club in Brazil before he moved to the UK, or before he moved to Europe, because I'm not sure. For some reason, I feel like he played for somebody else in
I think
Europe.
he played in Italy.
Yeah. Anyway, before he moved to Europe, he was offered his first, obviously, professional deal in Brazilian football, and was talking to his father about what number he should choose, whether it was 97, the year he was born, or whatever it was. I don't know what the numbers were.
Gotcha.
But he was choosing like traditional numbers and then numbers that meant something to him or blah blah blah. Like the year of my birth or this or that or whatever. And his father, and this is, I teared up telling Carly about it. The 39. His father said, "Why don't you pick 39?" 39 gave us everything. The number 39. For Bruno Guimaraes' entire life, his father drove a cab. Number 39.
Aw.
He said the money I made off that cab bought you your first football boots. It put food on that table. It kept you nutritified.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was a word that popped in my head. That it was not a word.
Kept you nourished.
Yeah, it paid for the food. It paid for the house. It paid.
Right.
The cab number 39 paid for everything. It gave us our entire life, and it gave you the platform. And that's why to this day he wears number 39.
Very fucking cool.
Isn't that cool?
I love that. It is
Yeah.
very cool.
That's tight.
Alrighty.
I love those kind of stories.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
fucking get me hard.
I'm glad you went and found them
Not
all.
hard. They get me hard here.
Yeah, they get you
Not-
in the head.
yeah, I don't get a boner.
Get all the feels. Yeah.
Yeah, all in the feels.
Not the feels in your pants, feels in your chest.
An emotional boner.
Yeah.
I know. I just developed another bald patch because of how many feels I'm feeling right now.
Possible show title: Emotional Boner.
I don't think we can do it unless you
No.
asterisk out the O.
Top 10 podcast. There's a lot of things we can do. But then, of course, we have yet to still talk about United, and I have a feeling the show title will probably come out of that.
Could be.
Big win for Villa, but you got to say they really got lucky in the first half. There's a couple of times some penalties could have been called on them.
Yeah, Villa definitely rode their luck. Brighton didn't look the greatest they've ever looked. But I thought Villa were fairly comfortable for most of the game. Mm-hmm. There was a couple of mistakes here or there. But at the end of the day, they ended up being more clinical. I mean, there were times where, you know, I'm sitting, of course, I only got to see the highlights. I had to work all week. But some of the moves that Brighton had, I sat there and was like, hey, shoot, now, shoot,
Right.
shoot. It didn't. And then Villa just dealt with it.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? Why didn't you shoot the ball?
Yeah.
Shoot the ball.
Well, you got to bring in producer Mel for this one here. Obviously she's typing, so I'm going to do what I'd like to do, which is stall a little bit to
Yeah.
help her out. See how I do that? I'm a fucking professional. All three, fucking Feedspot says I'm a fucking professional.
I gave them $1.
I bet they did.
Yeah. The 3 goals were all scored by all 3 of the January transfers.
Right.
That's where all 3 goals came from. And Mel came out at the end of the game and said the following. Mel, you scored 3 goals. Who were they against?
We scored 1 against Brighton, and then once against Hove, and once against
Albion.
Yeah,
Albion.
yeah, scored 1 against each team. Beat all 3, 1-0.
And drew you 0-0.
Yeah, exactly. And was the
that was
toughest
the
opponent.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a show title too. And drew you 0-0.
I feel like
But and has to be in quotes.
because we're gonna talk about Fulham and Bournemouth here a little bit later. I feel like Brighton is still in the driver's seat to be like the McRib team, but as far as really being in the discussion for Champions League, there's an outside shot at Europa, but I think this loss really did a number on them. I think this puts them back.
Yeah, but I don't know. They've been on a decent run of form, and like you said, they had chances. Now the second half, obviously, was a bit different. Villa turned the screw a bit more. Villa were a bit more in control, a bit more on top, where the first half was a bit more back and forth.
Rashford looking like the Rashford of old with his goal.
Kinda. I still think that finish was an accident.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
It didn't look like he meant to do that.
Absolutely, he meant to do that.
But it worked out. I'm not sure. But here, I wrote a joke.
All right.
Early in the second half is when the game changed. Rashford scoring his first Premier League goal for Villa with a well-timed run and fairly composed finish. But then Matoma put a great run and shot together that was saved, and Adingra put it away. But Hero went to 0 for using his arm.
Yeah.
Hero Matoma? Yeah, that's pretty good.
Uh-huh.
So it's puniful.
Very
It's
proud.
very puniful.
Wonderful.
Very
Is it
proud of that.
though?
You wrote that and you sat there in your
Yeah.
you were like, yeah, this is pretty.
I'm going to
brilliant.
be on a list.
Do you know what he had?
You were on a list. You just didn't know it yet.
He had a comic boner.
But it's stuff like
He
this.
definitely had a
yeah,
comic
it's
boner.
stuff like this that got us on the list.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
2 lists.
No bro
3
no
lists.
bro
Look,
McCartney
It got
here.
it. Look, jokes like this got us a new nationality. Remember, we're an English podcast.
Yeah, exactly. We're English now, damn it.
Oh, I wish. Insurance would be a whole lot easier.
Final thought.
You'd still be waiting for an appointment in the NHS with that thing.
Obviously, the next 2 weeks will be interesting because Villa plays PSG in the Champions League. But you gotta figure, whatever comes out of that, they're right in the hunt to fucking get a Champions League spot still, despite the up and down of the season.
I think Unai Emery has done an excellent job this season of balancing the hangover, right?
Right.
Right after a Champions League game, they fuck off normally this season. Then they go on a 2 to 3 game win streak or get 7 points.
Right.
So they've kept pace despite fucking off the game immediately after a Champions League game.
Right. They've always find the points.
They've always find the points in the subsequent weeks after that. Right. Then Champions League game, shit.
Right.
Right? Then win, draw, win. Champions League game, we're shit again. Win, draw, win. Champions League game, shit again.
Yeah,
like
fair.
that. So
Very fair.
He's done a very good job at managing both competitions to still give them a shout of automatically qualifying for the Champions League. And I think, especially with the 2 summer transfers, January transfers that came in Rashford and Asensio, that gave them a bit more potency up front. More so than Duran, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's Duran scored more goals, obviously, than the two of them have.
They seem to offer more, though,
They
offensively.
offer more offensively. They open up spaces. They occupy people better. They pass better than Duran did. I think you're going to see a different Villa moving forward for these last 8 games. I think the Champions League is going to matter. They're going to play that Champions League game. But I think where you saw them kind of stroll around occasionally in that game following, I think they're going to be a bit more on it.
Yeah, because more legs.
They're not at the Club World Cup, right? They're
Right.
not playing this summer.
Right.
So you fucking bust your ass for the next 8 games. We can do this again.
Yeah.
And when Rashford potentially goes back to United, when Asensio potentially goes back to where I forget where they loaned him from.
Chelsea, wasn't it? No. It was a defender from Chelsea.
Yeah, but I think he's in Spain somewhere.
Yeah.
You qualifying for the Champions League again, you now hedge your bets. You now have the money to buy one of them.
Yeah.
Or
And bring
both
them
of
back.
them.
And bring them back. Yeah.
You potentially have that money. You potentially have that impetus, and you have the attractiveness since they, play for clubs that aren't in the Champions League. Of we're a Champions League club again.
Yeah.
Come to us, and now you've got real solid, legitimate depth.
All right, we're already close to an hour, so we got to crank through this because I know we want to spend some time on the final match. Rounding out the rest of the league, so that happened. Wolves 1, West Ham 0, Ipswich 2, Bournemouth 1, Southampton 1, Palace 1, City 2, Leicester 0, Chelsea 1, Tottenham 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Manchester United 0. Wolves, the lead for safety, is now at 12 fucking points.
Yeah, it's done. Just like the title.
Are they better without Cunha?
No.
They've been playing pretty well without him. They're
just better defensively now.
Yeah, I mean that's
it.
really the truth.
But they lack impetus going forward.
But this might not have been a bad thing necessarily because it's going to be life without Cunha next year. Cunha's getting
but
probably
he
sold.
came out and said that he might not necessarily leave.
Okay.
He said that himself. Wolverhampton has set itself up as a Portuguese home for Portuguese speakers and Portuguese people.
Yeah.
And I know Cunha's Brazilian, but
Right.
these
Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Yeah.
But there's loads of Portuguese and Brazilian kind of cafes around town.
Yeah.
And basically because of George Mendes and
Right, of course.
the fucking evil empire of agents. We talked about that loads over the years.
Number 1 overall, Jurgen Strand Larson with the goal.
Now, stop.
Uh-huh.
A couple of early chances for either side, but it was Wolves that got the goal through Jurgen Strand Larson via a deflection. So just like being drafted number 1 overall, it would appear that he also scores by accident.
Yeah, exactly. That's
like
a
that?
good joke.
Thank
That's
you.
a good joke. I'll give you that one. You know what?
But
Yeah, it's wrong.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah.
How many times does that work That joke work every single time.
83.6758% of the time, it works 100% of the
It's
time.
not a real percentage.
It is. I do the math every single week. Every one of my percentages are real, damn it. Fuck off.
The rest of the game was garbage, and Full Krug should have equalized.
Yeah, I mean,
But he hit the outside of the post instead.
this
It
is
was pitiful.
where Potter's supposed to be improving the team. Like, look at what Moyes is doing to Everton. Potter's supposed to be doing this with West Ham, and he's not.
Well, here's
He's not.
to give Graham Potter a little bit of grace. He did make a ton of changes. There are some people out of contract at the end of the season. He maybe saw this as an opportunity to toy with the lineup, which is what Smokey said pre-show during sound check.
Right.
Saw this as an opportunity to toy with the lineup, play for your place, or I'm transfer listing you. Right? Kind of situation.
Fair.
So I want to figure out what I have. They're not going to get relegated. They're not going to make Europe. He can fuck around and see what he has. And a lot like what Moyes is doing. You know, basically, he said pre-match, show me what you can do.
Right.
Like, you all have a ton more players out of contract than West Ham do.
Right.
But he's saying, show me what you can do. You're playing for your future.
Right.
I'm the
fair.
manager next year. Right.
You may not be a player here next year.
Correct. You have way more players out of contract than West Ham do, but it's the same situation.
Right.
Potter is just trying to, because obviously being parachuted in the middle of a season, you have Amorim has said it how many times? Now, by this stage, Amorim should have figured it the fuck out.
Right.
But-
Say Moyes figured it out. Like,
I'm just,
what-
well,
yeah.
exactly. But my point is you don't have a ton of time to train when you're parachuted in the middle of a season because
True.
games come thick and fast. You've got FA Cup, you've got League Cup, you've got blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah,
all
blah,
of
blah,
those
blah,
things,
blah.
yeah.
You have teams, half your players are going for international duty or
Right.
what have you. And so he's using this, and it looked that it honest in all honesty, without being a dickhead about it, it did look like he was toying with the lineup because it's Wolves.
Right.
It's a fellow dead man walking with nothing
Right.
to play for.
Well,
he's
Wolves have a little bit more to play for than West Ham does. Now they're probably safe.
right. So
Honestly, we'll know this weekend if they're safe because they play Ipswich.
right. So what I saw here was just a manager trying to evaluate his squad, which is annoying. So don't include them in bets anymore
Yeah, heard.
because you never know what's going to show up.
Exactly. Let's keep it rolling. A must-win for the Tractor Boys. If they want any chance of surviving, this was a game they needed to win. They got it. And the Cherries get healthy, and they are just falling off a fucking cliff. It looks like they might not even make Europe now at the rate they're going, which is a shame because next to Forest, they've probably have been the best story of the fucking season.
Yeah, I think they're just running out of steam.
Yeah,
To
they
be
are.
honest.
They are.
And this game, really, they dominated this game. They dominated the chances. It was Palmer in the net that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal
Yep.
in this game. The defense was pretty fucking good in this game.
Yeah.
And Ipswich have always given a decent account of themselves going forward this whole season. I think this is what Delap's like 11th or 12th goal or something, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Like they've been playing fairly well going forward. It's just they can't keep anyone out.
Yeah.
And Palmer really stepped up to the plate in this game as the goalkeeper, and he made some integral saves.
Yeah, and
It was really only a botched clearance that allowed Evan Nilsson to score at all. It could have
Yeah.
been 2-0.
And-
Should have been 2-0.
And for Ipswich, I mean, it really comes down to this next week. You have to win. This weekend, you have to beat Wolves. If you don't beat Wolves, you have to win. Wolves, all they got to do is come out with a draw. You have to win if you're Ipswich. If you don't win,
It's done.
it's all but over.
Yeah.
There will be a short, Everton's playing a real hard schedule right now. There'll be a shrinking of the gap of points, but I think 30 points keeps you safe this year.
Does Ipswich's shirt have a collar on it?
I don't believe it does. No.
That was weird. Broadhead, the guy that scored the first goal, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure it was the first goal for them. Did you see as he was wheeling away to celebrate him turn around to check the offside flag?
No, I did not. I didn't notice
So
that.
as he was running away, he finished, turned. He also nutmeg Kepa, which is, I love nutmegging a keeper.
Yes.
Y'all cunts deserve that.
Thanks.
But as he's running, I didn't see any part of his upper body turn at all. Mm-hmm. I think he needs to visit a priest.
I heard.
Because he turned to check the offside flag, and it just looked like the bitch from The Exorcist.
The whole head turned around backwards. Heard.
That's why I thought it might have had a collar and I couldn't see something. But now I'm even more worried.
The Saints get a point, and it doesn't even fucking matter. They
Cost me so much fucking money.
They can be officially relegated by Sunday when they play Tottenham. If
Good.
Wolves win,
I feel really
and
bad.
Tottenham beat Southampton, Southampton is officially relegated.
I feel really bad for Tyler Dibbling, and I feel really bad for Aaron Ramsdale. The rest of that team should fuck off to the championship.
And we feel really bad for our boy Ken because, he's a supporter of him and we like Ken.
No, I'm holding him personally responsible for that.
Okay, very good. I love it. That's why he's no longer a Patreon supporter.
Write your hate mail to your clubs when they suck.
Okay, write your hate mail.
Yes, absolutely. Tell people they're being shit.
Palace, for me, this felt like a hangover from making it to the semis of the FA Cup.
Within 90 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mateta hit the underside of the crossbar.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't even on it to begin with.
Yeah.
And then, by a miracle, end up leading the game. And then actually played okay.
Yeah.
And you thought, this is your Sheffield United moment. This is that moment where you took City to a draw and you didn't give it up until the stoppage time. But that was City or whoever, whatever it was. It was a big club. I don't remember who it was exactly. This was your shining moment to give your supporters a cheer before you go back down, right? That was where Norwich just literally rolled over and died for everybody.
Right.
Sheffield United at least gave them one thing to cheer about by the end of the season.
Exactly.
And this was it. You were going to beat Palace in your building, as FA Cup semifinalist or quarterfinalist. Yeah. You were going to beat them in your building.
Semifinalist.
Oh, they won. That's right.
Yeah.
They beat Fulham. This is you got this. This is great. 92nd minute.
Yep.
Out of 4 added on.
Yep.
Fuck you. And it cost me money.
Yeah.
I'm so annoyed.
Don't say.
I'm so fucking annoyed with them.
Do you realize Jack Grealish has not scored?
They're no saints. They're sinners.
Have you realized Jack Grealish has not scored since 2023 in
right
the
off
Premier
the
League?
dome, Mel.
Yes, I did know that.
That was his
16
first
months.
goal
I think 16 months.
in the Premier League since 2023.
That's why he's coming back to Villa.
I don't know about that.
But
I don't think y'all got the money. Not that kind of money. Not that City's going to want.
but
'Cause
Grealish,
they're about to hit 18-point deduction or something.
Grealish, Marmouche score. Leicester at least made it look like they gave a fuck, kinda. You know?
Not really.
And
I think they ended with 1 shot on target.
yeah, pretty
for the
much.
whole game. Now City obviously are way better, but you could figure it out to
But
get 2 or 3.
The bigger news for them: Holland out for 5 to 6 weeks, so maybe
Probably
back,
done for the year.
maybe back for the FA Cup final if they make it to the final.
I don't think they'll need him.
Like I don't know. They're playing Forest. I don't think they're making it to the FA Cup final. To be quite honest,
I don't know. This has City 1-0 win over Villa written all over it for me in the FA Cup.
Yeah,
Boring, and Villa had a chance.
yeah. Fair enough.
It's going to be a very boring, annoying FA Cup final, I think.
So Chelsea and Tottenham. There
Wait,
was
stop.
Yeah, please.
Scoring on the for Grealish, scoring on the 25th anniversary of his younger brother's passing.
Aw.
I don't know how he passed or why he passed, but that was the last tidbit I had. His apparently his family, he had a little brother, and his little brother somehow died. This was the 25th year of his passing, and he scored on the anniversary of that.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
Very
so
nice.
that was pretty cool.
So there was a skirmish in the Chelsea-Tottenham match.
It took 38 seconds to have the first 3 shots on what should have been rated shots on target. They weren't. But, and then everyone settled in and did fuck all for a while.
There was 12 minutes added to the end of the match. There was 16 minutes added in total due to VAR, because VAR had to check some shit. Honestly, the post presser was more entertaining than the fucking match itself.
But it was, 4.5 minutes for the offside. Mm-hmm. It was another 3.5, 4 minutes for the
foul. Well, the 6 minutes for the foul. 6 minutes for the foul.
Yeah, it was more, wasn't it?
And it was 6 minutes. You know why I know this?
And there was like 4 or 5 subs as well.
Because
so really, there should have been 15 minutes added on.
The end of by the way, Palmer assist. When Palmer is involved, they win games. That's the long and short of it.
When he gives a shit.
Yeah, there really isn't anything else to talk about the game. What I want to talk about is Ange after the game. He said everything we've all wanted to say 1,000 times. Problem is, you're a head coach, mate. You're not supposed to say it. But he looked, because the press, the guy from the press, that was funny. The guys on the desk are like, oh, he's just doing his job as a member of the press. I'm like, he's fucking pushing his buttons. Mm-hmm. He's pushing, and Ange calls him out on it. He's like, oh, so you're going to ask the same question a different way because it didn't give you the answer you wanted. Like, he looked him right in the face and said that.
Nice.
He goes, I see what you're doing. And then finally he says to him, he goes, if something is clear and obvious, why does it take 6 minutes to know that it's clear or obvious? And he goes, yeah, but it ended up being a foul. Wasn't it a foul? He goes, it shouldn't take 6 minutes if it's clear and obvious. Like,
right. That's not the question. The question is should the call have been overturned? And the call was a goal.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
And Ange's answer is, if it takes 6 minutes, it's not clear and obvious. So, yes, it should have been a goal. It should have stood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. It makes sense.
Well, I mean, and did they get the call right? Did he make a foul? Yes, he did. Should it take 6 minutes to do that? It's the thing we've been talking about the whole time, this whole fucking season. If it's clear and obvious, it is both clear and then obvious.
Yeah.
And you can tell right the fuck away.
So
right?
in the group I'm in with Joe from the supporters group, my other fantasy league that I cheat on you guys with, the question was asked, like, anybody watch the game? There's one Chelsea supporter in the group, and everyone kind of hates Chelsea. There's one or two West Ham people. There's a few Arsenal people. There's a couple of different clubs are represented.
Right.
Anyway, Reed, the Chelsea guy, says, like, I didn't get to see the game. Why were there 12 minutes of stoppage time? I think I had to work or whatever. And so I just said, like a couple VARs, a lot of subs, da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
And then Joe said, yeah, it was a pretty fair result as an Arsenal supporter, but in recent years, I hate Chelsea more than I hate Spurs. So I'm, like, really disappointed by this. But, Spurs losing is always a good thing, so it's fine. And I said, nah, the only proper result here was if a sinkhole opened up the size of Stamford Bridge. 'Cause I fucking hate both of these shit clubs.
So we have spoken enough on that. Let's go ahead and get to an email from our good friend, Mr. Keith Kern.
Yes, dufootballshow@gmail.com if you'd like to get in touch.
As the league returned to action, I was thinking about how long Graham's streak is going and if it's going to give Houston a guard of honor in 7 weeks.
I think I'm at 68 weeks without winning a bet, I think.
Yes. Southampton has an ugly record, but Graham ain't that far behind. Maybe he should take some more paternity leave so his kids actually have 2 nickels to rub together. Not wrong. Not wrong.
God. Absolute God.
I hit the first leg of a 3-leg, and I hope that I will be celebrating while we are live streaming tonight. So I don't know if Keith ended up hitting his bet. Hopefully he did. Here we go. He says, can you only pretend you are the 2 Robbies? By the way, a podcast that's also in the top 10. So,
we're alongside royalty there.
Yeah, fuck yeah, we are. Maybe we should act like the 2 Robbies. Maybe we should act like the 2 motherfucking Sams.
That's right. We should change the name of the show.
For a short while and dwell on Man U
We're not.
and remind everyone how shite they are. I'm enjoying dancing on this grave this season, and I think others might also. Have a great show tonight, fellas. And you know what? You're not fucking wrong. We've been too kind in the fact that we've just flat out ignored United this whole season because we really haven't shit on them at all.
Well, we've taken digs, but they've been it's death by 1,000 paper cuts, because we made like a 1 or 2 liner about all of the shit decisions Ratcliffe has made every week. So we said something about cutting the lunches,
Right.
closing the canteen. We said it over the course of the season. If you put our body of work together, there is a diatribe of shit that we've talked about United. It just doesn't seem like much because we talk about it one little issue at a time.
So Forest this whole year under Nuno, they've done a really good job at counterattacking, right, Graham? That's kind of been their thing, right?
Whole thing. Yeah.
Whole thing.
Pretty
That's what
much.
they do all the time.
Yep.
So,
Would you call this a counterattack? Would you fashion this a counterattack?
when you send your entire team up the field and you leave the entire field open for them to go, go ahead and call it a
Yeah,
counterattack.
but them didn't go. One man ran.
Yeah. Alenga ran, and Alenga, the beauty of Alenga's run is that he had this triangle of protection around him. Problem with that triangle of protection, it was 3 Manchester United players that I guess figured Alenga still played for him, because they sure as hell didn't try to take the ball off his foot.
No. And here, so
Just
you remember,
floating with him down the pitch.
you remember how impenetrable the force field was around the Death Star?
Yeah.
In this scenario, the evil empire, right?
Mm-hmm.
United don't have a force field.
No.
Alenga had a force field,
And they couldn't get
and the
to
empire
him.
and the empire didn't have Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, they were just a triangle around him, just floating
Running
with him the whole
Yeah.
way down.
He gave like a 2-fingered stiff arm
Yeah.
to one player. I don't remember who it was that was tracking him. And that was the closest they got to taking the ball off his foot. He looked off a wide open Morgan Gibbs White.
He looked right at him and went,
I'm doing this. Yeah.
I'm not the attacker you were looking for, and waved him out of the way as the two of them, as he reached the 18, the two of them parted and went,
Anthony Alenga might be Moses.
take a shot.
It's
Please, by all means.
They wear red. He parted the Red Sea, didn't he?
Anthony Alenga might be Moses. This might be the end times, Mel. Jesus sent Moses back first.
It is just, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking,
It's bad, man.
there's 3 of you. You mean to tell me nobody was going to get a red card? One of you couldn't just kick him in the fucking legs and take a yellow?
I don't remember where I heard it, but one of the funniest things I've heard over the last couple of weeks is Ruben Amorim is so depressed and so down that he does a lot of squatting.
Uh-huh.
And the response to that statement was that at least when he gets sacked, he'll have a fantastic ass to go back to Portugal with. Because he's been doing so many squats.
Mr. Graham, Tottenham, who we just spoke of, have 16 losses on the season.
Mm-hmm.
Manchester United have 14 losses on the season. Do you know how many losses Everton have on the season?
I don't.
10.
Nice.
Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur have more losses. The only reason why Everton's not in front of them in the table, Everton has a fuck ton of draws. Also why Everton's safe, right? Is because of all those draws.
Wolves have 17 losses. Tottenham have 16. That's close.
Yeah.
Ipswich have 18 losses. Tottenham have 16. Palace only have 9. Brentford have the same amount of losses as Tottenham, 13. Bournemouth only have 10. Fulham only have 9. Brighton only have 7. I mean, these are teams that were clinging on. Villa, obviously, I know they made the Champions League last season.
Right.
Previous to that, they had been barely surviving after having just come back up.
Right.
You know, for a few years. They've only lost 8 times.
Yeah.
This season.
Yeah.
It's a damning stat. It's a damning stat.
United, you need to be fucking embarrassed. This is what Forest supporters were singing at the Manchester United supporters.
He left 'cause shit. He left 'cause you're shit. Anthony Alenga. He left 'cause you're shit. Love it.
Looking at the standings and Forest should be where United are, and United should be
Especially based on last season.
like, this is fucking embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. It's been embarrassing.
And every player that leaves your club becomes good again. Every fucking player you've loaned has played decent. I mean, even Sancho, who's been meh at Chelsea, has been better than he ever was at United.
So Danny Kelly, who's on TalkSport a lot, a regular host on many TalkSport shows in the UK, and if you have SiriusXM, they broadcast a lot of TalkSport stuff on SiriusXM's FC, the soccer channel, 157.
Yeah.
And Danny Kelly apparently keeps a list of Tottenham players that have left Tottenham and won trophies. There's 68, and they've won 90 between them. Trophies.
Got it.
Since they've left Spurs.
About to be 91 because it looks like Harry Kane's about to win one.
I think we should start doing it for United. Also a damning stat that I saw, which is quite funny, in the last 15 games, also whilst scoring a goal, in the last 15 minutes that Harry Maguire was on the field as a makeshift striker in this game, he had more XG than Rasmus Højlund has in the last 15 games. And Rasmus Højlund has actually scored a Premier League goal in the last 15 games. Isn't that funny? That's funny. Slabhead figured it out.
It's so bad.
Slabhead figured it out. He, on corners, checks the wind like he knows what directions are. He doesn't.
I would like to coin a phrase from a former Manchester United manager that I think sums up what United is currently.
Didn't bring to the game not just the basics of football, I believe the basics of life.
Sure money.
We do need to make sure that we take a little time out of our week every week from here on out to just laugh at Manchester United and Tottenham till the end of the season.
Oh, yeah. I take personal time to do that during the week.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But Keith's not wrong. We should shit on him a little bit more, and we should all relish in the glory of this. And because United supporters, you know, a very rational bunch of human beings, they're very easy to talk to, very rational people. We should certainly not point out the
best thing I've seen,
the flaws in their logic.
The last few weeks, it fits the most is the fucking stadium drawing. You saw that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did we speak? Was that during the international break, or did we speak about that before?
It was during the international break.
All right. Well, then I'm sorry to bring this up now since we finished the segment, but they released a new stadium rendering because they want to build a new ground away from Old Trafford, which is ridiculous. It's one of the most iconic football stadiums in the world.
Right.
You have a load of space, fucking add to it and fix it, right? Now they want to build a new place, and they want these very, very strange, like, peaks.
Yeah, they want a circus tent.
They're
literally building a circus tent.
It looks like a circus tent.
Yeah. Yeah. You always joke about how the Tottenham Stadium looks like a toilet bowl seat.
It does look like a toilet bowl.
They're building a fucking circus tent.
United's
That's what they
building
want to build.
Yeah.
Just insane. All right, so go ahead. Your bets. How's betting going for you, Graham? I think
down
Keith,
2,900.
Yeah, I think Keith kind of precursor to that.
Yeah, I lost every bet this year again so far.
Yeah, no, that's
down
not good.
2,900, and basically because Smokey's West Ham
Not good gambling.
fucking score against Wolves. As I had West Ham or draw under 3.5. Full Krug puts that in. I'm rich. Nope.
Terrible with money.
No. These people just don't do their jobs.
Down 2,900 would say you are terrible with money.
Anyway, would you like to go through your stuff, or do you want me to do my full Monty?
I will go ahead and do mine right now. I am still up $1,003.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
Did you know that 28.5714286% of the time works 100% of the time? Did
Sure
the
does.
math on the calculator. 8 divided by 28, that was the number. I ain't fucking lying to you. I give you cold, hard facts. Why? Because I'm up. I'm doing well. You're not. I'm the one killing it, baby. This week, I'm going to take a 4-way parlay, all in the El Gatwico. I'm going to go with both teams to score, Mateta to score anytime, and Eze and Yao Pedro each to have a shot on target at plus 799.
I like that. It's a good bet.
Don't want to pick a winner. It's probably going to be a 1-1 game, right?
I like the weird thong Mateta's wearing on his head.
Yeah.
It looks like when he's done with it, Cisco should sing about it. Oh, good, Mel?
Yeah.
I thought you'd like that one.
So there we go. That's what I'm going with
All
this
right.
week.
So I've
All
got...
El Gatwico.
Nice. I've included them in mine as well. So Arsenal to beat Everton. Of course.
9-way parlay.
6.
Okay, well, your bet's going to be fucked early in the morning because it's going to end up being a draw.
It's not. You've been very chesty about that, which is exactly why I included it as the very first fucking thing that I put on here.
Not good
We
gambling.
are going to beat you. Brighton or draw. Double chance at Palace.
Okay.
Here's why. Brighton, prior to this weekend, was on like a 5 or 6 game unbeaten run.
Big run.
I think they feel hard done by that game against Villa. They had some chances. They did some good things. I know Palace are at home, and Palace are playing well, but Derby, things go out the window a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brighton have a better chance of playing helter-skelter football than Palace do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I don't necessarily trust it. I think they both could score. I think it could be a 1-1. I think it could be a 2-2. So I added the double chance with the draw in there just in case. But Brighton or draw with Palace. West Ham and Bournemouth. Under 3.5. Easiest bet of the weekend.
There you go.
I may bet everything I have in my DraftKings on just that one line.
Under 3.5.
Yeah, in that game, because fuck both of them. Liverpool to beat Fulham away.
Okay.
Should be fair dues. Tottenham to beat Southampton. Cash in the voucher.
Yep. It's everybody's voucher.
Easy.
Yep.
And then Villa and Forest again under 3.5. Don't know what's going to happen. I think we'll see a different Villa the rest of the season after these midweek games. I think they're going to give.
Feels like a 1-1, 2-1 kind of game. I agree.
I think I really believe that Emery has rotated and managed both competitions really, really well. And going into these last 8 games of the season, even with the Champions League, I think everybody's fairly rested. Everybody's fairly,
healthy, ready to go.
and
Yeah.
ready to operate. And I think now is the push where they see Chelsea not playing so well over the last few weeks. You see, Forest had a little bit of a blip there for a minute.
City's not playing
City's
well.
not playing particularly well. I think Villa, you could see climb back up the table into those Champions League spots, as we talked about earlier in the show. And so I think Villa, honestly, I see this as a 1-0 Villa.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Chris Wood's going to be back yet.
Mm-hmm.
And Iwobi didn't show much in the game against United.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Villa probably keep a clean sheet and then get them 1 or 2 on a counter.
So what does all this get you?
Plus $1,263.
Not good gambling.
I think it might be okay here.
Get it the fuck together, Sam.
Hopefully hopefully.
Alrighty, that is going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Mr. Graham, you've given us a bunch of fun facts. So do you have any parting words
I don't,
tonight?
and nobody was like an outright asshole that I saw.
I think you had a bunch of little fun stats there. That was pretty good. So I liked all of that.
Pretty cool little stories. I thought they were interesting.
Yeah, I liked all of that.
Yeah.
So next up is DU Does EFL, where we recap the rest of English football. But the main thing is we're going to talk about the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We are also going to we're not going to talk so much about the league, more so than we're going to talk about what's going on in Reading, because it's fucking an absolute shit show there right now. And the team is in a possibility where they may lose all their points. That's how bad it is.
Nice.
That's how fucking bad it is with
All
Dai Young.
the points they've accumulated.
Dai Young is dying young, motherfucker. That is what he is doing.
Live fast and die young.
And after that'll be injury time, where we preview the weekend's action. We talk about the beers we were drinking and catch up on our fantasy teams and our adopted club. Should you want to support the show, Mr. Graham, how do you go about doing that?
One last time, again, it's very easy. Patreon.com/The Football Show. Sign up to that $5 tier. You get all the extra stuff Sam was talking about. Also, get in touch with us, even if you don't sign up to that $5 tier. It's thefootballshow@gmail.com. We love hearing from everybody, especially if you want to put us on a list. That's always fun for free. But
Depends on the list.
We could be on some problematic list.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of people get a lot of airtime on problematic lists.
Very true. Very
I'm
true.
cool with that.
I
As
got
long
it.
as it's not a no-fly list, I'm good.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
But yeah, do all that stuff. Get in touch. It's fun. We
All
have a
right.
good time. But pay us $5. It's better that way.
Till next week, everybody.
Good night.